Good morning guys, and welcome back to 2026. Happy New Year. So this is the first couple of days of us being back in January, and the temperatures have dropped. This customer has come from about an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and yesterday really struggled with snow and ice and everything else. So we're right down on the Dorset, in Dorset on the south coast. We don't really get too much cold weather, but the heaters have been on the workshops to welcome us back from our Christmas break. Now this 2025 Chausson Sportline 697 on a Ford chassis has come into us for various fixtures and fittings that needed to be done, or technology that needed to be upgraded because the customer wasn't happy or hadn't spec'd it, or it was just lacking certain bits and pieces. So we start with, on the roof we have fitted the compact smart 5G Wi-Fi system with roof antenna and a little system that is just inside the Habitation door to give you on the move Wi-Fi. We have also fitted Thinkware front dash camera, which you can see up on the windscreen there on the passenger side. We've also fitted a new power supply with cabling that runs from the garage area up into the bedroom area, and we have supplied and fitted a 24-inch smart TV with this new freely internet channel feature, an Avtex soundbar, a custom mount, and also we have done the VisionPlus UFO Freeview digital TV antenna on the roof, and that's all neatly fitted in and connected down so that the user in the back bedroom can then use that and enjoy TV channels. I don't think we've forgotten anything, but join me inside and we'll talk a bit more about what we've done. Right, so when we do this kind of work on the motorhomes, there's a lot of things that we have to take into consideration before we start drilling holes. This particular installation has a Wi-Fi antenna on the roof this side and a TV antenna on the roof this side. It's all governed by what the vehicle has already got fitted from factory, and also what the customer has already got fitted in terms of plans for solar panels and other such things. This roof is actually, for us, a little bit easier because it's flat without any roof rails and curves and undulations and whatnot. But we needed to keep the Wi-Fi on the driver's side just for ease of use, because of the fact that you've got kitchen cupboards here with personal stuff in for cooking, food prep. On the right hand side of the camera, on my left hand side, we've got other cupboards, and we've got a little mini Dometic oven there, and space in here is certainly limited to a certain extent. It's compact, so we've had to bring in the Wi-Fi antenna nice and neatly over in this corner. That's been expertly measured so that we've, it's been measured 5 times before we've drilled through the top of the roof here, just to allow maximum neatness for us as well. The 5G Compact Smart is then neatly installed next to it. We've taken power in through the back of this panel and off the back of the Habitation board. This is already fitted. This is the Webasto heater, and then this is the Wi-Fi router itself. We've then got to think about losing the excess slack of the cable. So what we've done here is we've neatly cloth taped up the slack into a sausage, and then using P-clips, we've then again fixed it onto there so that it doesn't look like it's just hanging down. This lead here is the one that charges the actual Wi-Fi device, so if we unplug that, that will then stop charging, and then you could unplug the 2 aerials and use this as a portable router, which is one of the features, although I can't really see the benefit, because if you're in the motorhome or even outside the motorhome, you're still going to be within connectivity distance. So that just plugs in like so. You've then got your main screen, which is controlled by the little button on the top. Tells you what data usage you've had, and also most importantly tells you what your signal status is like. There is an isolation switch at the bottom here, which is a little rocker switch, and that just stops the battery from charging or drawing power when you don't need it. So that's the 5G router or 5G Wi-Fi installed. It's an unlocked router. We've done loads of videos for these before, and they are incredibly popular and successful. Great bit of kit, fit and forget for us, which is also nice. Behind Sammy, who's got the camera, is the Thinkware dash camera. This is the Thinkware Q850 front only dash camera, because motorhomes don't really lend themselves to having a rear channel, but that just means that when this customer is driving, then the dash camera is doing what it needs to be doing, also giving him alerts for speed cameras. When you take the key out of the ignition, the camera will stay on for a couple of hours as well, which gives you that parking mode. Now we head towards the back of the motorhome. Now, every installation we do of a TV and a soundbar in a motorhome is tricky. This one has been probably up there with the incredibly tricky, because of the fact that we have to mount the TV and the soundbar onto a bracket. We didn't want the bracket to be swinging around like a swing arm bracket, because there's only one person watching. Then we have to think about things like cupboards, TV height, what's the other side of the cupboard, the curtain for the habitation area. There are so many things to think about, and then you've got to think about where the TV area is coming in, power for the TV, the soundbar and the TV area itself. Hopefully you'll agree that we have done, as usual, a cracking job. Now, the wooden panel behind is basically just a piece of plywood that has been cut to 300 by 400. It's then been painted. We have supplied and fitted similar to these, and we've also supplied and fitted 2mm stainless steel shiny metal, which is also looks nice. We've also supplied and fitted 2mm checker plate. It depends on what sort of finish you go for. This is probably the cheapest but the most effective, and it just means that we can distribute the weight of the TV and the soundbar onto this piece of wood. Now, when we went to measure everything up, we then realized that the bracket for the TV had to go at the lowest point of the piece of wood to allow us to put the TV onto the mount and slide it down, because the sound bar is fixed to the TV. And also then we had to think about height, so that there were the TV wasn't getting kicked. And then, of course, most importantly, where we've got a little control center over here. So we've brought the TV antenna into the roof, down through, used a bit of D-line trunking to make it look nice and neat here, and again we've brought the D-line trunking in behind the TV. Luckily you can't see it, and then of course you've got the actual amplifier for the TV. Now that needs to be accessible, and it's one of the reasons why we fitted it here nice and neatly and not up here in the storage area, because you can access the TV here, so you can turn it on and off. We've also then supplied and fitted our own heavy duty cable that runs from the garage habitation area all the way along up underneath, and you might just be able to see there some black Copex, which is what we've used, black split Copex, which is plastic sleeving, and then it runs into the bedroom or habitation area, and we've made it look really nice and neat in the white D-line trunking. That provides the power supply up into our little cigarette lighter socket box that makes it nice and neat, and we've then supplied and provide power for the TV and the sound bar, as well as for the TV area itself as well. So again, really compact, really nice, really neat, really tidy, and exactly what customers expect from us. So I'm going to turn on the TV. Soundbar will automatically power on because we have connected the soundbar through the HDMI or the ARC, which is the audio return channel. Just going to make sure that the volume is switched off or down so that we don't get told off. And then as the TV then boots up, the customer can then connect to the Wi-Fi in the vehicle, and also not only connect to the Wi-Fi in the vehicle, but use things like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney, YouTube, whatever. There are a whole host of different apps that come with these new Avtex TVs, and as I said earlier, this is the new Freely internet TV channel system. At the moment we are just going to go down to TV Guide, like so. And this is the standard Freeview television channel system that you would have. So let's just go, right, so this is receiving, well, it says 790, but depends on how many of those are great. So these are the standard channels that you're getting at the moment. The reason why I'm flicking through fast is because to get to the HD channels, you need to be starting at 100. So if we go to 101, this is then going to give us BBC One South HD. And as you can see, picture quality is amazing. Add to that the sound bar, you've got a really nice sound package in here. The sound bar also doubles up as a Bluetooth speaker. So if the TV isn't on, you can connect your phone to the sound bar, or you can connect your phone from the sound bar in through the TV so that you can watch your content and listen to your content or look at your album artwork on the TV, which is really, really cool. So the soundbar is an absolute must for every one of these installations to give you a bit of depth and warmth and clarity that you need in the motorhome, because the speakers on a lot of these TVs are not great. So this is a 23.8 inch TV, and it's one of the new Avtex smart televisions. As I said, comes with a remote. You've got simple one-touch tuning, which is the AQT down here. And also you've got things like a battery meter for the TV as well. So for instance, if you want to check how well or poor your leisure battery or health system is, you can just press that button and that's it. Now, going back to what we've done, 2025 Ford Chausson Sportline 697, 5G Wi-Fi, VisionPlus TV antenna on the roof, Thinkware front-only dash camera, and a 23.8 TV channel, a TV system, smart TV with Avtex soundbar, all nicely, neatly fitted in, wired in, looks uber professional. So if you want anything that you've seen fitted in this video, then please do get in touch with us. Website is in the bio. Contact forms on our website. Do get in touch. We're happy to give you a quote for some work, and hopefully see you down here in Dorset. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.